So I will press forward, we will move ahead. And if anybody has any questions as they come along, if anybody else comes in, we can probably take it from there. So good evening, everyone. We are here again to try to have this meeting with our members. My name is Cindy Guevara. I am the current president of the Trinidad and Tobago chapter of IFMA. I am very happy to be here with you all this afternoon, this evening, to share with you some information, some insights as to what your chapter has been doing, where we are going, how you can play a part in the activities, and how you can really be a part of where you want chapter to go, to be taken going forward, essentially. So what we will be doing this evening really is just to go through with you guys the strategic plan for 2023-2024 fiscal. The approach we are taking, that will be taken, is one where you will be given an idea as to where we are going. But given that we are already halfway through the fiscal, we will also give an update as to what we have done thus far. So at least you can have a better appreciation of where things are going. So Jackie, if you can go to the next slide. We have some clicking to do. Just click anywhere.
So, yeah, I think because it was paused for so long. Sorry.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand. All right. So our agenda will involve a description of the TTIFMA mission, vision, and committees, different committees that really drive or are supposed to be driving some of the activities, the strategic objectives of the association. Item 3, the TTIFMA goals. So the goals set for the organization, the association coming out of our strategic objectives. A SWOT that was done to identify and help understand how we function, what our strengths are, our weaknesses are, in terms of how we can apply that to achieve our strategic objectives. Number 5, the role and responsibility of the board members. All right. Number 6, the committee roles and responsibilities. So the committees that are part of the chapter, what their roles are, what their responsibilities are, any upcoming activities that we have with the association, not necessarily with TTIFMA, but IFMA in general. And from there, we'll wrap up with some questions and any questions that you may have going forward. Okay, you can go ahead, Jackie. All right, so our means of achieving our mission and vision. The vision of the association is to be the premier advocate for facility management in the region. And I think that is very self-explanatory as to where we will see ourselves, where we vision ourselves in the industry as not just being centered around Trinidad and Tobago, but we're looking at a regional footprint for the association. Our mission, again, to advance the FM profession by promoting and representing the interests of our members. So the members themselves are the ones who we are here to support. We're here to represent your interests. So what we do really is for the benefit of you all, right? To do that, we have our chapter committees, right? The committees themselves are the ones that are actually driving the association forward. And those committees are the membership committee, the communications committee, the events committee, our strategic alliance committee, professional development committee, as well as the research and benchmarking committee. And at the center of it all, we have what will be represented by our members, the chapter, and again, we can look at IFMA, our IFMA headquarters as well, to help support and drive how we move forward. Right, next slide. What was the approach we took to identifying and achieving and working towards those objectives? First, what we did was to identify what we would consider any new or overarching strategies that we want to apply for the period 2023-24. Yes, we would have had strategies from the previous fiscal, but we also wanted to see if there's anything else that we need to add to that. From that, we were able to review what our available resources were to see what exactly are we working with to help us achieve those strategies. Go ahead. And in doing so, we were able to do an assessment of our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So this again is going to help us understand what we have and what we can do with what we have, and what other opportunities there are out there, and what is really keeping us back or hampering us from moving forward, so that we can then treat for that. Right, Jackie? We would then look at reviewing these actual strategies planned for 2022-23 to see how they line up as to where we were and where we are going for 2023-2024. Go ahead. And in doing so, we will try to identify which strategies are still relevant, if any, from that 2022-23 period that we could carry forward to our new fiscal 23-24 period. Go ahead. And in doing so, we will be able then to align the new strategies with the committees, because again, the committees are the ones that are actually assisting in driving the activities that will assist in driving our goals to ensure that we do achieve what we plan to achieve for the fiscal year going forward. So we align the strategies with the existing committees so we can then see how best we can work, how best we can make that work through the particular committees. Go ahead. Right? And in doing so, we'll be able to identify what next steps we have to do to move forward. All right, so in looking at the overarching goals as to what we look at, what we looked at in terms of what we would like to see for the association, a few things came out of that. We wanted to increase our membership. Increasing membership means aligning that with our membership communications and events committee, because they are all intertwined to assist in increasing membership. Increasing exposure and visibility of TTIFMA. What I observed during this time that I'm being on the board is that there are persons who are familiar with facilities management, but not so much familiar with TTIFMA. So what we want to do really was to explore, exposing ourselves to, having more associations and organizations be aware of what we are, who we are, and what we do. So again, increasing our exposure and visibility of the association, developing relationships with key partners, which again will be aligned to our strategic alliance and membership committee, because again, we want to have our members as part of that process as well, in terms of being able to have that type of networking and connectivity with other associations who can support our goals as well. Increase member value in the association. So again, the membership committee is very much a part of that aspect in terms of finding ways to increase value for the members. What can we do to make you feel as though you are in an association that really gives back to you, that really gives you value for being a part of it? So the membership committee really is a big part of that. Increase member participation at meetings and events. Well, case in point. So that's something that the membership and communications has to work on as well, to support increased participation by members, sorry, to get increased engagement from them, to get increased input and feedback from them as to, what they want, where they see themselves in the association, and what they would like to see for this association going forward. Improve member engagement platforms through our communications unit. And well, as Raul said, he had a little challenge with our platform with Star Chapter. So that's something for us to take note of going forward, as to how you all interact and interface with these platforms that are supposed to be making things easier for you all to communicate and to interact with the association directly, right? Increasing our fund reserves. That is very, very critical for us, because we need money to operate. I mean, things don't operate in a vacuum, so we do need the funds to help drive some of the activities, some of the plans that we have to, again, help improve member engagement and, again, to help bring value to members in the association. Improving our financial management systems. So how we manage and what systems we put in place to help manage our finances as well is very important and falls under the executive to try and to drive those areas. The increase in training participation, again, this falls in our professional development sphere. Edward, who is our professional development chair, he has responsibility for that. And again, he will assist and help driving the activities forward there. Encourage corporate sponsorship for TTIFMA. Again, this falls under the executive. So this is what we'll be looking at to try and see how best we can bring more exposure and attract more sponsorship for the association, which will help us again to increase our member value going forward. We also have the research and benchmarking activity, and it's in red because it's there. It's been on our strategic plan for some time. It's a little this is Vaughn's little pet here, and I know he's very concerned about it. It's something that I really would like to see us try and see how best we could try and get something going to provide that type of service for the members and that type of activity within the association. Because what we do have really is an influx of data that really is not necessarily geared towards the Caribbean region. So having that data from a local perspective really would be helpful to us within the region. But again, it's something that has to be worked, that we have to work towards if we can. But it requires resources, it requires time and funding to really try and push that forward. So coming out of the identification of the overarching goals and the committees that they will be aligned to, we need to look to see what resources we have to really try and achieve those activities. So we did a SWOT. Now you'll see my SWOT looking a bit different. It's not actually SWOT, but the SWOT area. But I wanted to highlight the more positive areas and activities initially, and then we could look at what we need to do to help support those. So what were some of our strengths? The association has internationally trained and experienced trainers. So persons like Richard, but you soon, persons like like Vaughn, we also have Akian and Giselle, who is a member of the association, as well as Edward, are internationally trained instructors of IFMA, and they are here with us. So we don't really have to go outside to find trainers. We have them here within our realms, and we have the expertise and experience that they bring with them as their trainers. Internationally recognized and accredited credentials, the CFM, FMP, SFP. So that in itself is a value that we derive from the association that is just worldwide as well. IFMA has a very high brand value in the international scene and global scene. So we are working with credentials that are high quality and high value. So there is a desire for earning and for having that particular credential. And again, I think this is one of the that probably is underutilized to some extent, access to IFMA resources, trainers, research, webinars, networking, and their knowledge bank, all of which are readily available to members to have access and to utilize and as best as they can, right? But I don't know or don't think sometimes that members really utilize it to the full extent. The opportunities that we have, there has been an increased interest to support TTIFMA through different networking activities that we have been undertaking for the past year or two, somewhere there. And we have seen some improvements in terms of how we network and the engagements that we've been having with different associations. So there is an interest through organizations as well to support the work of the chapter. The FM application to industry development, because again, facility management is not static. It's developing, it's growing, it's evolving. As technologies progress, so does FM. So we are on the cutting edge, you could say, of what technologies are occurring at this point in time, and we are part of it. So we are moving with the times essentially. Climate change and the impact on SIDS. This one, in terms of how FM is really received. And I think more and more people are really seeing the necessity and the value of IFMA because of the sustainability aspect of it that most organizations or some organizations are trying to work towards right now. IFMA headquarters, again, is an area where we have opportunity to, as a vast resource to us. So it is available to us if we need assistance in any aspect of facility management going forward. So then we look at the weaknesses and the threats. One weakness that we have really to look at really is our limited manpower resource. This really is in the form of the board, because as it is right now, the board members that comprise Vaughan, Richard, Jackie, myself are the only resources, and sorry, and we also have Richard and Alana, Edward and Alana, who assist with the professional development chair and communication chair respectively. But those are the driving force, the engine essentially behind all the activities within the association. Again, people are working, but we try our best to provide that value and to keep the association going for the benefit of the members. But again, we do need some support as we go along. Low financial resources. Yes, financial resources are required because the association, it operates with money, it operates with funding. And while, some people might think, okay, maybe dues I am paying is plenty, and it's to really pay for all these things. That is not the case. I'm just trying to let someone into the meeting right now.
Greeks? Cindy?
Yeah, I'm just letting someone into the meeting room. Yeah, I just let it.
Maurice, yeah, just asked me to send it.
All right, good. Yeah, all right, great. Yeah, so we do require funding for the activities, and there are expenses that the association incurs on a routine basis for all our platforms, our digital platforms, LinkedIn, our right, our affiliations, these things are routine costs that we have to upkeep as we go along. So we do need to find the resources to essentially be self-sufficient so that we can maintain and ensure our bills are paid. Low level of volunteerism. I'm looking at the ice with just TTIFMA. But we do have a Jackie, can you let them in or do I have to let them in? Just asking. Somebody else is trying to find. Yeah, so we do have a low level of volunteerism that we would like to see, turn around to persons being a little more active in the association. So that's something that we would like to work towards, to create that environment where members feel encouraged and they feel, happy to volunteer and lend their services to the association, because again, it's not to the benefit of any individual within the association, it's for the association in general. The active membership, the activities or the engagement within the membership is a bit low as well. So we have probably about 56 members right now. But in terms of the response, when we have events and we do have activities, you don't see that level of activity based on the membership that we have. So that is something that we have observed for quite a while now. It's not just now, it's quite a while now. Something to look at, something for us to observe, it's something that we can address. We would like to as well, because we want to ensure that the members who are in the association, they do utilize, and receive benefits for being as a part of the association. It's not just a matter of just being here, but you don't want to just be in association and be paying fees and not really active, not really taking part and not really benefiting from it. So we want to make sure that we actually do get some value from it, right? So we need to determine what is the reason. It may be something outside of our control, but at least if we know, we'll be able to treat with it. Another area of concern will be the threats, things that could really impact the association, loss of members. So loss of members means reduction in our, I would consider our leveraging or bargaining power as an association. Loss of member interest and involvement as well. Because again, what you will find happens that persons would be here, but again, they're not really participating in activities and so on. I would have mentioned that loss of bargaining power. The lack of funds to support growth and development, because as memberships shrinks, unless we have a dedicated sponsor or sponsors in place, our funding is going to shrink as well, albeit small, but still, it still has an impact on the association. And the limited manpower resources. Again, as I would have mentioned, the resources that are currently operating within the chapter really involve roughly about 4 or 5 persons performing different various services to keep the association going. And it's quite a lot to do, so we do need some support as we go along. Yeah. So this is what we came up with as to what were some of the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that really impact how we can deliver the services, our strategies. Jackie, you can go ahead.
We're just sticking a little bit between slides.
Okay. Right, so now we move on to the board roles and responsibilities. So the office of the president and the vice president. The president essentially serves as chairman of the board, presides at all meetings, selects chair special committees, ensures the chapter is represented at the annual House of Delegates. This is usually at the World Workplace. Go ahead. Acts as an ex officio member for all committees, or a member of all committees, sign all agreements and formal instructions. The vice president essentially acts as presides in the absence of the president and performs any other duties as assigned by the president of the board. Now, you might tell us that the vice president have it nicer, but no, it's a lot of work still, because both the president and the vice president again are active, quite active in the activities and getting things done within the association. So it may seem as though it's just 2 lines, but there's a lot of activity, a lot of work within that and behind that as well. I apologize if you hear a dog barking. The secretary and the treasurer, and I just want to make mention that the secretary right now, who is Jackie, and Jackie, I have to mention, is Jackie is our salt right now. She is heavily responsible for many of the nice things that you all receive when you all go to the meetings that we would have had last year. So I want to say a special thank you to Jackie, because she really is the rock right now to keep things events actually moving forward. So thank you again, Jackie. So her responsibilities again: sending notices of board meetings, prepares and keeps meeting minutes, the maintaining of files and all correspondence, keeping a roster of committees, co-signing agreements as needed, prepare reports at annual chapter meetings, and any other duties assigned by the board. Now it seems as though there's a couple of things, but again, there's a lot of other areas, a lot of more intricate areas involved in that as well. Treasurer.
Cindy is reminding me about a lot of these there.
Yes, dates. The treasurer now similarly has responsibility for managing our finances, so collecting chapter monies and securities, deposits and disbursing funds, and we have to pay contractors for catering events and so on. Keeping accurate accounts of our chapter funds so we can know if we have money to spend or not. Co-signs agreements for formal instruments, submits treasurer's report at the annual meetings, and performs duties as assigned by the board. Now, I also want to mention, as it is right now, we did not elect a treasurer at our last elections. So our goodly Vice President, Richard, has been performing that role and the role of the Vice President since that time. I am hoping come next election that we will have someone to fill that role. So, it would not be a dual responsibility for one individual because it can be quite a bit, especially as we will have other responsibilities, work-wise, home-wise, family-wise, and so on. So just to put a plug in there right now. Okay. So with that now, there are certain goals that will come with the positions that, in particular here for the secretary and the treasurer. So the secretary goals again to improve the chapter's record management, maintain records of our ongoing activities, fulfilling statutory requirements. So here now is where I can give little ideas to what we have done and what we have been doing thus far. So we have been meeting those requirements. So the outcomes are that we have been meeting those goals, and these are ongoing activities that we continue to support and that is continue to be supported by the Office of the Secretary, right? Some of the challenges we have here, more so in terms of our data management. So right now we utilize our Zoom platform for our Zoom platform for meetings. But again, Zoom is at a cost, and depending on how much meetings that you have to pay for additional storage if you record meetings, but we do record our meetings as you all know. So right now we are nearing a point where we have to either do some deletions or seek additional storage, right? But we have been managing thus far by trying as best to manage and removing any non-essential items via external storage. So it is a challenge for us, and I think a challenge for Jackie is to manage that aspect of it. But again, we are trying our best as we can to use the resources that we have available to us to minimize the issues. So from that, what we would do is to have periodic review of our document repository to determine the records for storage and deletion. So it may come to a point where we have to actually purchase additional storage, but we're trying to see how best we can manage that. But there will come a point in time when we have to do that, right? The financial goals of the treasurer, handling all our money. So those goals include increasing our financial reserves, reviewing our banking options to make sure we get the best opportunities just for banking, and increase our financial management via new software, right? So within that time, what we have been able to do is to implement what is the Wave accounting software. And that is a software platform that has been, I think we started that sometime mid to late last year. That allows us more flexibility and ease of use in terms of being able to manage our finance, generating invoices for individuals or organizations that require invoices for training and so on. So it has improved and has alleviated some of the issues that we would have had previously. So for example, we would have had a training back in, when was the training? That was when? December? Yeah, and we also have one coming on. We also have one right now. And then one ended in December. And again, we would have received some funds coming in, but again, as funds come in, they go out. So training for us, once we have the training ongoing, we'll be able to see how best we can try and keep the funds up along with hopefully some sponsorship as we're going forward. Some of the challenges we are having, we wanted to open a new bank account to, again, to get better features, better services. So we're still working on that. And we are also trying to, again, to be more, a little more self-sustainable in terms of um, how we acquire finances, acquire funds to help with the operation of the association. So what have we been doing? We've been trying to work with the bank. We have also looked at sponsorship, um, sponsorship structures to see how best we can engage with us with association, not association, but engage with companies to see how we can source funding for activities going forward. So that is something that we have been looking at, mulling over to see how best we can put forward a feasible and reasonable structure for our, one bit chatty, for our self-sustainability to make sure that we get funding to support the activities that we plan to have. There may also be a reintroduction of event fees. So again, everything can be free. I'm sure you would have loved the lovely catering we would have had and different events we had, but um, it's not something that is sustainable for us. So we may be introducing most likely fees going forward um, uh, for different events. But again, that is still any works to be finalized. Right? Go ahead, Jack. So the first committee we're going to look at here is the membership committee, which is considered the heart of the chapter, because again, this is where everything, without the members, we don't really have much to do or much to work with, because the members are the ones that we're doing this for. The dual mission of membership growth and retention. So that these are some of the responsibilities of the committee. Membership growth and retention. And that retention is very important because again, it means that we want to be able to maintain and continue that relationship with our members. Communicating member benefits, ensuring that you all know what benefits are to being a part of the chapter. Guiding and supporting prospective members in the process of becoming a member. So for those of you who may not be a member right now, remember you don't have to have a credential at this, if you don't have one, you don't have to have a credential to be a member of the chapter of the association. So you can become a member of IFMA, you can become a member of the chapter, and as you go along, you can then look at, looking at earning your credentials as you go along, your FMP, CFM, whatever it may be, SFP. But you can pursue being a member without actually having pursued your credential training at this point in time. Hope that's clear. Preparing strategies to identify and attract new members while retaining current members. So again, we want to encourage persons, associations, organizations to, see the value as being a part of the association, being a part of the chapter. So you want to again, look at strategies to attract those persons, attract their organizations, attract their associations through our networking, through our strategic partnership to see how best we can engage with those participants with, while at the same time retaining our current members. What value will they see in being a part of the association? Reporting to the board at our meetings. So again, as a committee, you have to report to the board as to what your activities you have been doing going forward. All right. So what have we been doing to accomplish these activities going forward? So again, these are some of the goals here to increase the membership and retention, increased youth and student membership. Again, we want to bring in that youth to get that vibrancy, to get that young younger members to come in and see what benefits there are to being an FM. Go ahead. We also don't want to forget our Tobago partners, right? We want to encourage, because again, it's TTIFMA, it's not Trinidad alone, it's Trinidad and Tobago. So we want to ensure that our Tobago colleagues are part of the association, and we want to encourage them to be active in what we're doing as well. We want to increase the engagement and membership. And increase membership participation, which is really, really critical. Participation, not just being a member, but being a participative member of the association as well. Okay. So what have we been doing? we have applied, we have implemented what is Start Chapter. It's a platform that is really geared towards collating most, if not all of our membership activities under one platform. So, Raul, I know you said you had a little trouble with the platform because previously you would have sent a Google link and you would have, logged in and you would have had access to register via that link. That's a separate link. And then we send you a link for the meeting, then we have to then, correlate everything together. We might send you a survey after, and there's another link. But what the Start Chapter platform does really is bring everything together under one platform, which makes that whole management process a lot more centralized and a lot more easier for us to be able to um, get data, develop metrics to see how the membership really is responding to the initiatives that we're putting forward. So I know it'll be a little challenging in the beginning, and we actually haven't really launched it per se. It's still pretty new because we only started using it in December, and we still have to get some training on the system as well. So bear with us. We're working through it, and we will be able to, help you through the process as we go along. So we have Start Chapter online right now, which we will be using going forward. And actually, it is used by many of the IFMA chapters and councils and so on, as part of their um, interactive platform with their members. So it's not just us; it's something that is throughout IFMA that they're promoting, right? Our current membership right now is about 56 members, 2 associates, and that within that number, 2 are associates, 2 are young professionals. We have 1 student membership, all right? And I think I pulled out this data would have been from January, but it should be still be relevant. The new members for 2023 amounted to about 19 individuals, all right? We have received increased information requests about the credentials and increased participation during the activities we would have had previously in the last 6 months, right? There's also an increase in demand for training, again, because we are a bit more out there. People are now seeing the organization, seeing the association, seeing the benefits. They now know what IFMA is about. So we have received increased interest and demand for training. And we have also, again, would have received some lovely token and giveaways at these events from our good friend Jackie. And I just hope we can continue with that model going forward. Unless Jackie didn't get tired of us. Right? Some of the challenges we are having, again, member participation. The board can make decisions, the board can make suggestions, but the members are the ones who will be receiving the benefits. So member participation and feedback is really helpful to us to help guide the direction that we're taking on behalf of the association. So we do look forward to getting the member feedback. So when we send out surveys, we do look forward to getting those feedback forms to see how best members are receiving what we are doing, if there are areas for improvement, so we can then improve and move forward and change it forward. Yeah. Strategies, again, being more data-driven to analyze membership needs. So when we collect data from you all through these formats, we can then see how best we can tailor it better to your needs, right? Increase membership engagement, again, looking at strategies to see how best we can engage with the members. Given cost constraints, given resource constraints, we have to see how best how we can try and get those things going, right? To provide more targeted incentives for the engagement of our members, right? Go ahead. The communications committee, and I also want to mention that we do not have at present members on the membership committee. So it's still the board members performing these duties. So we do need some support in terms of being able to, share the load and help out in trying to put those strategies in place to try and manage and get better performance. Right? The communications committee, we have here, we actually do have a communications chair who provides that level of communication and that connection between what we plan to do and what is happening out there. So we have our communications chair um, who provides all your content. So LinkedIn, our Facebook page, um, your managing the Start Chapter platform as well. She provides that service for us. So we do have someone in the position to provide that, right? But again, in terms of other activities of the up communications, we do need some support as well to help other promotions as we go forward. Right? Go ahead, Jackie. Reporting to the board at meetings and disseminating blast emails to our stakeholders. So again, the new platform that we have through Start Chapter, you would have been receiving information via email. We do also have our WhatsApp group, but the ideal opportunity really be to use that platform to be able to send out more information, and in a more structured format, right? Again, the responsibilities overseeing the marketing subcommittee, which we do not have, and social media, which again is managed through our communication chair. Yeah, go ahead. Jackie, you go ahead. Stick it. Stick it.
Hands-on to overseeing.
It doesn't come from my side yet.
Overseeing, marketing subcommittees, social media.
All right, I'm still seeing the previous slide. I don't know if it's just me. Hoping it's not just me. Are you seeing the slide or is it?
Overseeing, marketing subcommittee, social media.
Let me try something here. It's like it's stuck on my side here. Right. Communication. It's still stuck on mine, but I'm just opening up this slide on a different page on my laptop. All right, so communication, right. So increase member value proposition. Yes, that's it.
Overseeing, marketing subcommittee, social media.
Yeah, that one, but we've already, if you want to the next
Yeah.
slide.
Okay. Right. Communication goals,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
communication check.
right. Yeah, that's what it. Yeah. So the communication goals through the communication chair will be to increase member value proposition, right? Increase that value for you. Ensure our communications plan aligns with the strategic goals. So again, we want to have that alignment as to what we're communicating based on what we are planning to do. Go ahead. Increase chapter visibility and engagement with stakeholders and members. And build or update our database. So again, you will see Start Chapter here starring as well, because Start Chapter has provided type of platform and environment for us to facilitate what we're looking for in terms of the communication aspects, in terms of engaging with members. So we do have chapter enabled. Um, and I don't know if you all have observed, but there has been an increase in our social media posting. So you may be seeing more postings on LinkedIn, more things on Facebook as we go along. So we're really trying to increase that social media presence for the chapter as we go along, right? Some of the challenges we're having, again, feedback and membership participation at events. Because we do have events, and I mean, in some cases where there are restrictions on the numbers, that's fine. But in general, when we do have events, we don't really get the numbers that we're looking at, that we're looking for, based on the number of members, number of registered members. We're not looking for everybody, but at least, we want to see how best we can try and get as many people participating as possible. So what are we going to be doing? So what we plan to do is to have more hybrid engagement. So this one as an example, to try and see how best we can try and cater for those persons who may not be able to physically attend a meeting or attend an event. It may be a bit of a challenge if it's a tour, because depending on the facility that you're going to, you may or may not be able to videotape or to have that information out there on the tour available in the general public. But as far as possible, we will try to intermix our chapter meetings with virtual and in-person meetings. Tours, again, obviously, we're going to be in person, but we're going to try and see how best we can cater for those individuals who may not be available to have the face-to-face meetings as we go along. Right? Engage with members and interested parties for assistance with development, planning, and execution. So again, we have some persons here who we can look at, and offer their services to support the association. So and again, if you're concerned that, listen, if I go and there's a commitment and it's so long I have to do this thing, no, we can always tailor the type of engagement we have, the type of assistance that you can provide to us. But it would be helpful if we can get persons at least let us know what you can do for us, so we can see what best we can do if we can look at one. Right? Develop standards for member engagement. So for example, when we have new members on board, there will be a standard approach, which I believe was in place, but again, we have to kind of reinstate it to, provide like a little welcome package for you all, to let you know that this your renewal is coming up. So those are some things you're going to standardize and put in place so that it would not be, it wouldn't fall through the cracks essentially. So we can let members know that, listen, we are paying attention to them. If they're here, they're not here, we will reach out to them, that kind of thing. Seek event sponsors, because again, we do need some input financially to support the association. Continue collecting member feedback to help us understand what your needs are and how best we can meet it. And again, to let you know what is available to support you as we go along. Yeah, go ahead. So the next committee is with the events committee. Now you might see this little one-liner here, liaising with other committees and organizing events on behalf of the chapter. It might seem like just one line, but there's a lot beneath that line. There's a lot that goes with that one line of activity there. Because the engagement that we require, the negotiation, management of events, and again, hats off to Jackie, who has been doing that practically by herself for the last couple of events we've had. So Jackie would source the event, she would source the tour, she would arrange with the um the stakeholder who's having the tour. She would arrange everything. So we really want to again say thanks, but there is a lot of support that we do need to help manage these events, whether it be event by event or events by event. We do need support going forward, and as we go along, before we end the meeting today, I will come back to where we need support with a particular and a special event as we go forward. Yeah, go ahead, Jack. So that's the overarching role of that particular committee. The goals essentially would be to conduct membership surveys, which again is being held through Star Chapter. Encourage professional membership participation at events. Again, you will see the continuous request for member participation and so on for events and submissions. And submissions refer to your take or your professional experience and your professional understanding of FM. So if you would like to submit a document or paper that you may have prepared or some insights that you have in FM, you can submit it to us for us to view. It's something that we can look at and look at putting forward for your colleagues to share and to share your knowledge on it and to share your expertise as well, right? Planning and managing events is pretty straightforward. When we have events, they need to be properly organized. Promote inclusion of Tobago and the wider Caribbean. Again, don't forgetting our Tobago partners, as well as our colleagues within the Caribbean region, and to build and update our TTIFMA database. So again, as you are logging into Star Chapter, you will be required to put in information that we'll have as our database for us to maintain it. So what have we done thus far? We have hosted 5 facility tours, and that would have included one tour we would have done in December of 2022, when I included just for posterity. So we'd have had 5 facility tours, 2 chapter meetings, 2 information sessions when we were doing the FMP training. And we have also, again, you see Star Chapter here starring. We have enabled the Star Chapter platform to support our activities going forward. Because the events are being now managed or being disbursed through our Star Chapter platform. So this is why it's there, right? So we have been quite busy over the past few months. We have been able to, undertake a number of activities during that time. And the feedback that we have had thus far has been very good in terms of the membership really appreciating and seeing value in what we are doing. So that is very encouraging. Some of the challenges, again, you'll see Manpower starring here to drive the events and member continued engagement. So while we would love to have the tours and we'd love to have the chapter meetings on a regular basis, more so on an in-person basis, it will be a bit of a challenge for us because again, we need to have that participation. And we also want to ensure that members participate, not, again, we appreciate those who are here with us, but we also want to see others engaged as well, right? The strategies would be to have more hybrid engagements, again, to try and engage with those persons who may not be able to do physical engagements, engage with members or interested parties for assistance with event planning and execution. Again, come on board the committees. It may not be for a particular period, it could be for a particular event. We look forward to the support in any form. Develop standards to process for standard process for member engagement. Again, how we engage with members on a regular basis. A standard welcome memo or welcome message to you guys when you all are renewing or something along those lines. Seek event sponsors and continue collecting member feedback. So again, your voice matters. And just to give you an idea as to some of the activities and how we have been kind of tracking some of the activities, this is just a spreadsheet or a chart of the events that we would have had over the period December 2022 to November 23. So just to give an idea that we are tracking and we are utilizing the data and measuring the data to see how best we can move forward. So it's a simple chart just showing the numbers of persons who have been registered for events and those who actually attended, right? So what it can help us understand or see in some cases is see how well attended certain events were. If they weren't well attended, what could have been the issue as to why they weren't attended, why they weren't well attended. So we could try and remedy those areas. So just to give an idea that yes, the data that we do collect via the forms is valuable. So your feedback to us is really valuable. So you would have observed that for the Red House tour, there would have been 32 persons registered, but only, I think it's about 20, I see, 20 who actually attended. Similarly, if you look at the NB tour, which again, we also have to be mindful of certain outliers, certain criteria, sorry. Because the NP tour, there were certain criteria that was required for attendance, which was PPE, a certain level of PPE. So we understand that the numbers in that one will be a bit low because because persons who were attending didn't have all the required PPE for the event. Similarly, for Angostura, there were 22 persons who registered, but only 19 attended. And that particular event, there was a threshold for the number of attendees. So these are things that we look at as well, not in isolation, but collectively to see how best we can analyze the information. So when we do send out those feedback form, we do look forward to getting your feedback so we can analyze the data going. Yeah, go ahead. The Strategic Alliance Committee, which should be the face of the chapter, who we align with, how we align with them. So again, spearheading the chapter's efforts to partner with similar-minded associations. As it is right now, we do have affiliations with other associations that support us as we go along. Yeah. All right. Jackie. Representing the chapter in meetings with such associations. Go ahead. Report to the board on minutes of the meetings. So again, we're looking at how we can find those critical and strategic alliances to help support the association and support our strategic objectives as we go forward. So how are we doing that? Let's see that. Go ahead, Jackie.
Fourth point, take any lead and joint initiatives.
I haven't seen the slide
Turn
yet.
it up.
No, I didn't see it yet. No.
Seeing it now?
Yep. Nope. We went back to the other one. It was coming up just now. I don't know what happened.
CNA fourth point, take any lead.
Yeah, I'm
and
seeing
joint
that. Yeah, but it's the next slide I'm looking for. Right. That's it. Right. So some of the objectives or the goals of this committee would be to promote articles of submissions in regional publications. So again, we invite members to share their expertise, to share their knowledge with the members, whether it be in the form of an article or some white paper you may have done, that would be helpful to us as well. Create a Caribbean master schedule for FM-related events. So there are other associations out there, as Barbados. We have a new engagement right now, pretty new, with Grenada. They're actually doing some training with us right now. So we're looking to see how best we can foster that, right? So any events that they have coming up, we would like to try and assist and have one regional um, format or schedule. So the persons can then determine if they find one of the Barbados trend or whatever it may be to see how best they can share their knowledge and get some more information. Capitalize on the virtual technology to link members in the Caribbean. So again, we want to be able to use that forum to engage with our regional counterparts, our regional colleagues in FM, whether it be through Zoom, whether it be through meetings, whether it be through conferences, online conferences, to see how we can link up with them. Build local and regional stakeholder contact base. We were able to do some of that actually in terms of the building a contact base. So as you go along, I will expand on that more. Have a Caribbean FM job posting at TTIFMA.org. Right. So again, you're looking at really having TTIFMA as the central hub for information, all information that relates to FM activities. So some of the positive outcomes, what we have been able to do. Again, Start Chapter, because that Start Chapter platform provides us with a very good platform to assist with that. Establish stakeholder links. So again, as I mentioned, we do have links right now with some stakeholders. TTCSI has been providing that service for us for a number of years in terms of hosting our address and providing that service for us would be a strategic partner for us. We are recently engaging with organizations such as HERMAT, IOSH as well. I would have done a webinar with IOSH recently in December. So we are establishing links with other associations to see how best we can collaborate with them with that shared interest. Regional contacts, when we look at World Workplace 2023, there were a number of Caribbean members or colleagues who were there. So we were able to establish contacts with them. So again, that is one avenue for us to capitalize on as well. Some of the challenges, again, stimulating regional interests in a collective approach could be a bit of a challenge, but it's something we could look at working towards as a regional strategic goal. And some of the strategies that we are looking at really um, having a template for regional publications, utilizing our local contacts to engage with regional contacts. So reaching out to the regional contacts and having them contact us to see how we can share and engage with them on different activities. We have had some success with that. Again, as I mentioned, the Barbados, the Barbados, yes, the Barbados is a H2, I can't remember the company name right now. Would have had a webinar, a conference, attended a conference recently and did a presentation to H2 Assets Incorporated. Yes, that's it, H2 Assets Incorporated, coming out of Barbados. So we do have that linkage with them. Also, as I mentioned, we have the Grenada team that we are establishing links with right now. They are currently doing training with us with the EOFM. So that's one step forward for them, and hopefully they'll be doing some FMP training with us following the EOFM. So we have established and we are establishing links with the regional, with our regional counterparts. So we're working on that as well. Yep, Jackie, go ahead. The Professional Development Committee, the pulse of the chapter, because this is where all our training and development is administered. So what they do, their responsibilities is to provide a professional growth opportunities through education, assist the membership in developing strategies to manage human, facility, and resources, as well as providing current information and education on cutting-edge technologies, systems, and processes that improve facility operational efficiency. So that is their responsibility, the responsibility of the committee. Now, again, I want you all to bear in mind that these are the actual committees that we have set up that we would like to have manned to, again, further advance the development of the association. Okay, we do have a professional development chair. This is Mr. Edward Casal. So he is essentially our committee right now. And he has been doing quite a lot to support the association in the professional development. So all the training that we've been doing right now, he would have been able to coordinate that, supported by the other trainers, which have been Giselle Vaughan and Akian. And again, the goals of this committee will be to support and encourage FM training and development, advocate for recognition of FM profession, credentials, and qualifications, right? And a good way for us to do that really is to have the numbers to leverage that type of recognition. Promote knowledge of international developments in FM, right? And this could be through publications, through articles in newspapers, which was, I think one was done sometime mid to late last year, done by Edward, and was done through the TT Chamber. It's really a good read. If you could have, we could probably transfer it on our website sometime, if possible, to have it there. So persons can have a good look and have a read of it. So, what are some of the positive outcomes we've been able to work towards for the period? We have established a quarterly training calendar on our website. So persons would have seen that on our website as they go along. There has been increased engagement for potential students, persons who have been expressing their interest in pursuing the FMP and other training. I think we have one person signed up so far for the FMP. Engagement of quality presenters, which would be our current trainers. Yes, oh, sorry, yes. So this would have been at our events. So when we have our events, the presenters who would normally do the presentations at our various tours and our various meetings. Again, the feedback we have been receiving has been very positive in terms of the quality of speakers that we have been presenting thus far. Usually the ratings we give is between 1 to 5, with 5 being excellent, and the ratings generally have been between 4 and 5 for the quality of presenters that we've had over the past few engagements. Chapter collaboration, again, we have Barbados um, who we're working with, as well as the Grenada team that is now coming on board here to work, do some training with us. Some of the challenges that we have, the resources to manage the advocacy. Again, this requires time, requires commitment to really, put behind the engagement process. So it needs a dedicated person to really work towards it. Um, we also look at the ISO standards. So some of you may or may not be aware that we do have ISO standards established for facility management. It's taking a bit of a time to really get in place, but it's still working towards it. The ACTT as well. It is something that we have been working towards and continue to work towards to see how we can get local accreditation for the programs, which we believe will make the programs a little more accessible for individuals who may be seeking assistance through their employers. It could support them as well going forward. That so we're still working towards that, right? But it is quite extensive in terms of the information that we have to provide for them. So we're reviewing that right now, and we have to meet with them to see how best we can discuss our way forward. So what our strategies are: developing a training calendar, which we do have on our website right now, reaching out to learning institutions to share information about what on the credentials that we do have, seek volunteers for activities, promote IFMA benefits. Again, there are lots of benefits to be derived through IFMA. And we also would consider doing some do you know segments to help keep members informed of certain activities or certain things they may have been aware of in facility management. So another way of keeping you engaged, keeping you informed as to what is taking place. Okay. Okay, so the research and benchmarking committee, again, not that active, not for lack of wanting, but again, lack of resources in this case, to oversee the chapter's research and benchmarking programs, identifying and undertaking research and benchmarking in areas relevant to the FM industry locally and regionally, maintaining research and benchmarking database, okay, and preparing and disseminating reports and benchmarking initiatives. Now, these initiatives here, along with reporting to the board and membership on benchmarking projects, these initiatives here are quite intense activities in terms of being able to really, move forward with it. So while it may seem as though, okay, fine, yes, we need to get some information and data on our local industry and our regional industry, that's fine, but it does require a lot of resources to really come up with accurate information and to go through the process and put a structure in place to really capture that kind of information, that kind of data. So it's something on our wish list. So it's something that we can work towards to see how best we can put measures in place for that to come to fruition. Yeah. Yeah, Jackie, you can go ahead. Right. So what do we have coming up? So as it is right now, we do have training. Our Essentials of Facility Management training started yesterday. It started actually with members from the Grenada team, so they are currently pursuing the EUFM training at this point in time. We also propose the, don't go yet, fellas, I'm not coming to the good part. We also propose the CFM training All right, that date has to be adjusted, revised. We also have coming up, where, Jackie? Jackie, next one.
Sorry, just stop a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. The FMP, it's earmarked for March 4th, but we may have to adjust that date. We also have events. Now, this events listing here is not just TTIFMA, it's also the IFMA headquarters. So we have facility fusion happening on May 5th to 7th in Boston. We also have, and I brought it in here so people can be aware of it, the Eric Tai Show. So if I get it right, Richard, SFP Scholarship Program, the submissions are due by July 18th. Now, this is a scholarship program for you to get your SFP training. So again, it's open to members, the members, but they can go online, check it out, see what the requirements are, see if it's something you might be able to work towards, and make a submission to see if you can get a scholarship for the SFP, right? World Workplace 2024 is in San Antonio, Texas. It's from October 9th to 11th. Again, open to
Cindy,
members. Yeah.
one thing, I believe there's supposed to have a information session, I think, about this scholarship. I think I saw an email about
Okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah,
Great.
I'll just
All right.
double check it. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, all these things are available through the IFMA site, so members can look into it if it's that they are interested. Yeah. All right. World Workplace 2024 is in San Antonio, Texas, on October 9th to 11th. I would encourage individuals to participate, even if you're not a member, and you can still make it. Try. It's really, really a wonderful experience. TTIFMA tours and chapter meetings. These are still more or less work in progress, so we have to finalize those activities as well. And the 15th anniversary. So pause here for pause. So this is really what I wanted to highlight in terms of the events coming up, because we do want to have, or I should say recognize, the 15 years that IFMA, TTIFMA has been operating in Trinidad and Tobago. I really think it's a great opportunity for us to showcase the association and to stand tall and proud for what we have done and for still being here and being active in the industry. So I really would like us to see how best, and again, I just discussed with the board, how best we can, you know, try and recognize that particular event. Thanks, Richard. So you can check in the messages for the information on the scholarship program on the information date. So I would like to see how we can celebrate our anniversary and to send out a call for volunteers to help support and planning an event for it. Initially, what we're looking at really is a dinner or a conference or some sort, right? It's still more or less, I wouldn't say uncertain, but we have an idea of what we want to do. But again, we're looking for that support to help move forward. So if there are persons who have the skills, the time, and are willing to support, please contact me. Because we are looking for volunteers to help support that event going forward. Right? So we're either looking at a conference type event and a dinner in the evening. But again, it depends on the level of funding, the support, as to see how best we can manage and have some means of recognizing facility management in Trinidad. So, and more than likely, it would probably be around the period June. I think we had a particular time, Jackie, Richard, I think it was a June and a June somewhere there. We were looking at that period, right? So please feel free to reach out to me to advise if you can assist in any way, or if you have somebody who may be willing to assist. Let your colleagues know, so we can try and start working on that ASAP, right? In terms of our administrative duties as well, we also have our elections coming up for the board elections coming up in June. Again, the board terms are 1-year terms. So our next elections are due in June 2024, as well as our recertification, our annual recertification, to ensure that we continue operating operating as a chapter in Trinidad and Tobago. So that's very important. Right? So at this point, I think I have questions next. Yes, we need you, right? And again, we just put up the application form there linked it. So persons who are interested, right? Let us know how the chapter can be of greater value to you. Tell us what topics or presentations are of interest to you, because again, we are doing this to support our members, not just for being here. You know, take a chance, volunteer in our committees to see how best you can support. You know, we welcome the support. If you do have, you know, any information or you want to share your expertise and presentations and articles, you know, please feel free to share it with us. We also look forward to, you know, your support if you do know of any locations or you can support any of our tours going forward. Maybe you might, your organization might be a good place for us to go and take a tour. You know, let us know so we can see how best we can arrange and what we can put in place. But you know, engage with us so we can see how best we can support you. Yeah. Are there any questions that you may have for any of us right now? Carlos, Keegan, or Carlos and Keegan? Yeah, Carlos and Keegan.
Daza.
Sorry, Daza. Okay, okay. Any questions, Daza?
No, so far, well, I came in late into the meeting. So far, everything is clear, right?
Okay, great.
It's my first time joining, so.
Okay, okay. I hope it won't be the last.
No. No. I'm still learning about facility management. I am a
Okay.
facility assistant at the moment, right? So
Okay.
I am a bit involved, and I'm doing business management. I'm doing a business management degree. So the reason why I joined is because well, I like the field. That is one.
Okay.
Right, and then I've been participating in the workshops that the IFMA has with yeah, like I think it's a monthly workshop. So I've been participating, and eventually after I finish my degree, I want to take the certification path. So
Okay, great, great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Glad to have you with us. I'm glad that you're just seeing the value in participating and, you know, learning through IFMA as well. That's really great.
thank you.
Keegan, any feedback? Putting you on the spot.
Yes, good night, good night. No, everything was very informative. Yeah, is just to get involved more. And I would like to do one of the programs, but later down, funds permitting. So I'll try and join the membership.
Yeah, so you can join without having the credentials at this point in time, but at least and what will help as well is that when you do plan to do your program, whether it be the FMP or the CFM, you would receive a discount as being a member of the association. So you know, it's like you're paying it, you're doing that now, you're doing your membership now, but again, you know, you do get a discount as you go along.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, great. Okay, well, I think the other members, really members of the board are online right now. So I just want to say thank you all for your patience. Our technical challenges, I really didn't plan for that per se, but we were able to work around it as good FMs. We worked around it and we were able to achieve the outcome of completing this meeting. So we will be in touch. And again, please feel free to liaise with us, reach out to us. Through our website, through, you know, you have, I think most of you have the email to contact us. And, you know, let us know how you can support, how we can support you. And, you know, we can take it forward from there. So thanks again for everyone for taking the time out this evening. We've been going, we've been doing about a half an hour, so I think we did start a half an hour late. So I will still be on time. if I had started on time. So I didn't do too bad. So again, thanks everyone for your time. If there are no questions or anything, I would like to say good night to everyone and be safe and have a good evening.
Thanks, Cindy.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Good night, everyone.
Take care,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.